Hey guys, it's Tombox here. We're gonna have a bit of a chill deck profile here today, and I want to give a huge shout out to my most recent Patreon, Toby Piersteed. Thank you for pledging. I appreciate you for joining the Patreon fam. You can check out the updates I have on the Patreon links, and if you guys want to help support this channel, meet me at events, stuff like that, go check out my Patreon. Any amount of pledging helps, and you're just investing in my ability to bring you some awesome content. I've been investing a bit more into, rather than just me talking, I've been going to locals and getting the local opinion. Hope if you guys enjoyed that content, it really helps out with the Patreon because it's a lot of work going through and the editing is crazy. But for this deck profile, I am bringing forward to you guys brilliant Trickstars. Yes, of course, there's going to be one engine or another splashed into Trickstar, and the engine I'm going with is Brilliant Fusion. This is just my favorite variant so far. I did not like the Sky Striker variant because, I don't know, I'm just not finding much success with it, so I kind of switched over. But in all cases, if a new meta build comes up from YCS 200, I am going to take a look and experiment with that as well. But this is my variant. If you guys see any sort of upgrades you want us to do to the deck, leave it down in the comment section below. Good, bad, I don't know, leave your opinion. I will read it over. And I appreciate all of you guys for commenting down there. For this profile, I will be showing you the main deck, side deck. Main deck, extra deck. I don't have a side deck ready for this because I don't know what's exactly meta. Side according to what your locals has, I suppose. For me, my current side, I'm just gonna wing it here. It's made up of just a bunch of, I guess, dealing going second cards, I suppose. I'm even considering the Mech Knight engine. But aside from that, I will also show you guys different OTK variants that you can pull off with like a 2-card or a 3-card combo, and some of the opening plays that even if you do brick, it's not the end of the world if you do brick like crazy. But without further ado, let's go into it. You guys can follow the list on the right side. Starting off with the main deck, we have, of course, triple Candina. I don't think the Trickstar lineup changed anything, but you are going to be able to get the double summon of Candina, so remember you do need her quite a bit. Just be careful of how you use her, and you make sure you link her off properly. Of course, the rest of the Trickstar engine is made up of double Lycris and the Lilybell. Don't need a third one. I haven't experienced a chance to use a third one. I don't think it's needed, especially with the ability to actually revive so much of this stuff with Lilybell anyway. Reviving Lilybell is quite the combo, especially when you already have the Lycris in grave. Now, that's the Trickstar stuff. I am running triple Phantom Sky Blaster. This card is just nuts. Even if you just open, worst case scenario, just one Phantom Sky Blaster with that witch, Wee Witch's Apprentice, you can just summon this and then just go into that, and then if Wee Witches gets destroyed, you just add back a Phantom Sky Blaster, which is like the worst possible opening, but it's not that bad, especially if you set yourself a scapegoat or something like that. Then you have like 8 monsters to work with. It's really nutty. Of course, you're like wondering if you didn't hear me earlier, I am running the Brilliant engine, so there is the Garnet, there is the Trick Clown, and sometimes you get to summon the Phantom Sky Blaster, and you also get to summon out the Candina. If you get these two off with the Brilliant Fusion, it is just magnificent. It's just really disgusting of some of the stuff that you can actually pull off, but you can also switch this out. I'm always giving you guys options, but you can switch it out for Snow if you want a bit more versatility when it comes to this particular slot. But I am running a 40-card deck, so I'm choosing to go Trick Clown, and I don't have to pay as much cost out of my deck when it comes to banishing. Of course, hand trap wise, triple Drone Lockbird. This is just a given because you still have Drone Lock combo, and that is one of the going first things. That's why there's so many combos you can go with. It's almost like, I guess, Light Sworny. When it comes to the comboing. Triple Ash, Blossom Joyous Spring, because it's really useful. One thing to note about these particular hand traps is that sometimes you actually just summon it for the material and then you go for the kill. A lot of the times I forgot, and I'm like, I gotta hold on to this because it's a hand trap. But no, you don't have to hold on to it because you can use them as fodder for links, and you can go into like a Borrelsword or something like that. Now going into the spells now, that's my monster lineup. I have triple Brilliant Fusion. Man, these sleeves make the Brilliant Fusion look pretty dang awesome, not gonna lie. Triple Brilliant Fusion, of course, all the extra ones you can throw away to use as cost for the Nightmare monsters or something like that. Double Terraforming, and because Double Terraforming is now semi-limited, it's just more Candina fodder if you just think about it. Triple Light Stage. Just remember to activate this card when you do play it. to like stun a back row. I'm playing one copy of Monster Reborn to extend my combos, and as I guess further out, double Call with the Grave, because now Call with the Grave is semi-limited, and taking out the Sky Striker engine, you do free up about 7 card slots worth, so you gotta fill it with something useful, and Call by the Grave is just in general really good card. Being able to stop hand traps, being able to stun out various effects that are already on the field. You know, a lot of stuff is very useful with Call by the Grave. It's a nice card to have, especially when you're going to kill your opponent, and so if they're going to hand trap you, of course, you can get rid of it. Double Scapegoat. Still just a busted card, I don't need to talk about this. 1 Hornet Drones, no engages. This is still very useful for generating out 2 monsters, especially when you're playing on a combo deck. Being able to generate 2 monsters out onto the field is quite useful, but there's a trade-off. The trade-off about this particular card is that you need to eat up 2 slots in your extra deck for this one card, and if you don't want to run this, you don't have to. There are other options, because this is not even searchable. It's just the fact that you can re-add it back to your hand and use it again. That's the only reason why this is here. But if you don't want to use Hornet Drones, which is absolutely a fair option, you can switch it out for double Fiend Sanctuary. I'm playing 1 Fiend Sanctuary. It's basically the same thing as this. Now, one thing to note about Fiend Sanctuary is that the token is a fiend. It's dark, so even if you do sometimes get limited out by your opponent, say they flip a Gozen on you or something like that, they flip like a Rivalry of Warlords, you can still go into your Phoenix and stuff to actually pop stuff. And this also works with Phantom Sky Blaster, so there's a lot of versatility there. And if you really don't want this card, you can also use one-time passcode. The difference between one-time passcode, I guess, it summons out a level 4. I prefer to summon out a level 1 because of Link Karibo. And there we go. I'm running a pair of shared rides. I want to run a third one, but it really, again, depends on the meta. I would switch these out if I'm going second a bit more. I would switch these out for mind controls instead. But this is still very useful, because if you go first, you set those up. If they're trying to draw a lot, or they're trying to search a lot, it's not going to work out for them in the long run. As for my last 6 cards, it's just traps, triple reincarnation. That's a bit of a given. And I am also playing triple impermanence. Like, this is not a cheap deck by any means, but I just enjoy not dealing with Goki and not dealing with Hero Gokis. Oh my god, Hero Gokis are pretty dang annoying. I hate the Dark Claw that's just stuck there. It's really annoying, and Impermanence helps turn off that Dark Claw, which I am a fan of. But that's the main deck. Onto the extra deck. So obviously 1 Gemini Seraphonite for the Brilliant Fusion. The Sky Striker engine for the 1 Hornet Drones is made up of 1 Kagari and 1 Hayate. There's no point using a Shizuku because you're not searching anything anyway. This can potentially push you for an additional 15. This is just there to re-add a card, and usually it'll get linked off before you can even use it to punch. So that's that. 1 Proxy Dragon. I'm considering the slot. I was joking when I was talking about, oh, Proxy Dragon's just gonna fill the spot of Goblin, and apparently it did. So if they're gonna extra link you, this is the card to go. Oh, by the way, this Trickstar deck can also make a U-board. Yeah, that's just a fun fact, but it does require like a 4-card combo to do a U-board. I'm playing 1 Witch's Apprentice because of Phantom Sky Blaster, mainly for Phantom Sky Blaster, and that's about it. It gives me a bit of recovery. This is also a replaceable card. If there's a better option, leave it down in the comment section below, because I would like to replace it. But sometimes when you get a really brick opening, this is a really good saving grace, and sometimes you just want to open up your link zones anyway, and this is the card to go, because Phantom Sky Blaster opens it up with that card, and you get to re-add Phantom Sky Blaster. So that's for my actual level 1s, double Link Spider and the Link Karibo, Scapegoat, and I guess Fiend Sanctuary and all that junk. Try to always use Link Karibo for Fiend Sanctuary, because Link Spider can be goat targets. I guess the Nightmare package, I have Unicorn, Cerberus, and Phoenix. If you want to cut out the Sky Striker stuff and put out Trigate Wizard, you can technically put out a triple Trigate if you really wanted to do it. I realize it uses about 11 monsters, and if you guys are trying to calculate combos of how many monsters you need, just add up all the link numbers, and that's the amount of monsters you need to be able to summon onto the field to use them as material. So yeah, that's how you count. Now play Saryuja. You go into this quite easily. 1 Phantom Sky Blaster plus 1 token generator immediately puts you there. Or if you happen to have Brilliant Fusion, yeah, that plus like a Sky Blaster immediately gets there. It's literally, the Brilliant Fusion is equivalent to say the Goblin plus the ability to generate the tokens. That's why I'm using Brilliant Fusion. You know, that's actually a really good example. And as for my boss monsters, a Firewall for the Firewall OTK, it's still there, and it just requires a Brilliant Fusion plus a Candina. We have a Borrelsword and a Borrelsword. I hope I can still combo it out. I will show you. If I fail to show you, that means I suck. But yeah, that's it for the entire extra deck. Sometimes you OTK with a Borrelsword, sometimes you OTK with a Borrelsword. I've noticed some of my own misplays where I went to the Borrelsword instead of Borrelsword, where Borrelsword would have just been immediately OTK, whereas Borrelsword would have just like given me control, but then my opponent gets a chance to counter. This, of course, is just for punching for game. And if you want to set up U-board, you can go into this card. But it's not like a turn 1 U-board that you're going to go into more often. It's more like you break their board and then you U-board them after. But yes, let's go into the combos. Okay, now starting with the opening play, the thing is, most of your negation form are coming in the forms of hand traps or perhaps some of the set traps, or mainly a disruption. It's not any sort of hard counter that negates activation, so it varies from game to game. So I'm going to start with a pretty good opening, which is Candina and Brilliant Fusion. As for the other cards, I'm going to shuffle up and then just draw them. 2, 3. So these are representative of the other cards in your hand. Could be anything. I gotta check if there's a Garnet. Alright, I don't have a Garnet. I have Shared Ride. Wow, this is pretty freaking good. Now, if I had Scapegoat, it'd be even nuttier, but since I don't have any monsters, I'll just play this one out. So just think of these as blanks for now, because it does matter later on. So what you want to try to do is go into Saryuja as quickly as possible. So starting off with Brilliant Fusion, we're going to go into Brilliant Fusion, we're going to dig out Garnet and the Trick Clown. And we're going to summon us Seraphonite in defense mode. Usually you're going to want to go onto your right zone now. The zoning does matter a bit more, especially when you're going to be using Hayate. So we got that down, and then Trick Clown will activate, you take 1000 damage, and now you summon out Trick Clown in defense mode. And okay, now we have 2 summons. So with the first summon, we're going to go ahead and summon out our Candina effect. We're going to search out Light Stage, I guess, since that's a bit more effective. We're going to summon out activate Light Stage search Lycris. And then we're going to activate Lycris, summon, bounce back. So far we've only used the 2 cards and we're kind of netting a bit of plus here. So we can now normal summon out this again. Now if you don't have Reincarnation, since I already have Reincarnation, you can go to Lilybell, and you can actually hold on to the Lilybell if you want, because you get to actually bring back some of your cards that I think might be a bit more useful later on. That's just my opinion. Or you can go into Reincarnation. It really depends on the situation. In this case, I'm just going to go into the Lilybell. So you can summon out the Lilybell, or you can choose not to summon out the Lilybell. It's completely up to you. I'm not going to be any judge here, but I'm going to summon out in defense mode for now. And okay, now I have my monsters. The persons or the monsters that you want to link off will be everything except for the Lilybell, because that's your way of recovering, and if they can't answer everything, well, it's, I guess, good for you, I suppose. So link off 4, we're going to go into a Saryuja. Saryuja, because we did link 4, we got to get 4 cards. And since we did search, we're just gonna shuffle up and see what happens. This is where the variety starts to change. You see that there's so many cards in the deck that are meant to like kind of counter. I don't have any hand traps right now. Will I get any hand traps? I've gone into 1, 2, 3, 4 cards. I could draw perhaps Phantom Skyblaster, Scapegoat. There's a lot of potential to actually keep myself alive, and that's what I'm looking for when it comes to the Saryuja. So there's another Light Stage, which can benefit me of searching out another Candina. 3, 4. Okay, hand traps are always good. If I get the terraforming, I don't need the Light Stage anymore. I think I want the Phantom Skyblaster, but I have to trade off something in my hand. I have to put 3 cards back. And so I have the negation in this form. I got an Ash now. I have a Reincarnation here already. I think I'm going to toss out... In fact, yeah, I'm probably going to toss out the terraforming too. And I have to make a sacrifice here. Do I want the Ash, or do I want the Phantom Skyblaster for later on? Phantom Skyblaster will just kill my opponent outright at this point. So instead, I might opt out for... If I want to go for full-on negation, then I'll do this. I'll go with this Phantom Sky Blaster, and I'll keep these 4. This way, I have way more interaction against my opponent than anything. What else could I have gotten? So this is the change. So this is kind of differing from the other combo. So I could have gotten a Droll. I could have... I'm just going to dig out cards. More Light Stage, more Reincarnation. Brilliant Fusion is also a possibility, but this is a guarantee a shuffle back in. Fiend Sanctuary, Scapegoat, Call by the Grave. I don't think there are many bad options, in my opinion, once you go for the Saryuja, because you just have so many just decent cards in the deck. The worst case scenario is that you get a ton of monsters in that Surge. That would be the worst, because if you actually get a ton of monsters, your ratio shouldn't let you go in that direction, but if you do, it's just the luck of the draw, I suppose. But yeah, that's, I guess, combo number 1. So this is combo number. We finished here with a Shared Ride, Reincarnation, Ash. If I had a Droll, I'd definitely go with the Droll, because that means I have Droll combo that they have to set up themselves. Basically set everything, and yeah, you're good to go. You can hold on to the Lily Bell if you don't want to. At least you're not going to make your opponent go all in, for instance. And if they try to kill you, you can try to stop them with 2 cards. Okay, sometimes you get a bricky hand like this. You have double Brilliant Fusion and a Garnet, but that's okay because Phantom Sky Blaster can go into Saryuja quite easily just with 1 token generator, or a free summon of any sort, like a Monster Reborn or any common, a kind of combo extender, which is fine too. But right now, Brilliant Fusion in this whole area is pretty bricked, so let's just put this aside over here. And starting off with the Fiend Sanctuary, we're going to summon out the Fiend Sanctuary token, and it's going to be represented by this Yugi token. So that is something you want to summon in attack mode because your opponent takes the damage. Now, this is still a normal token, so you can still go into Link Spider with it if you want, but you shouldn't, because you should be going into Link Karibo with this thing. So you can just link it off right now if you really want to, and go into a Link Karibo. You don't have to go into Link Karibo if you don't want to. It's just an option. You can save your material, but Link Karibo in the graveyard usually means you can stay alive a little bit longer. So now we can normal summon out the Phantom Sky Blaster, and we're going to generate out 2 more particular tokens, and these can be in defense mode. These are technically level 4, and then we're going to link off one of these into a Link Spider. You need to go into a Spider for this one because you need 4 different names to get the Saryuja. So now we get rid of everyone, and Saryuja now seems pretty dang busted because you're guaranteed a solid draw. Doesn't matter which side, I suppose. So Saryuja goes there. Saryuja will activate. I'm gonna draw 4 cards. Share Ride's not bad. This is okay. That's oh, okay, well, okay, that's freaking good. Okay, so these 2 are going back for sure, and I need to throw away one of these cards. Impermanence gives me a negation. I want the Candina because Candina is able to summon, and that to me is very important. So I might trade off the Impermanence, although Impermanence is a solid negation, I would say. It's hard to make a choice, but I want to keep the Reincarnation just in case, because Reincarnation lets me extend my combo the turn after. So these are the 3 that I'm choosing to put away. So these are just going to go to the bottom. And now my hand looks like this. So there is a bit of randomness, however, there's one card that's guaranteed in that particular hand, which was the Brilliant Fusion. Now you can activate the Brilliant Fusion, tossing away that Garnet, and you can also toss in that Trick Clown that I did not draw. And even if I did draw into that Trick Clown, guess what? I would just shuffle it back in with the Saryuja anyway. So that's okay. And therefore, now we get ourselves Seraphonite, and then we also get ourselves a Trick Clown. That's a lot of monsters to play with. So now we have an additional normal summon. So we're going to summon out the Candina. Candina, we're going to go into our field spell. That's not a field spell. Field spell. And since I have Reincarnation, I guess I can go into Lycoris. Gonna activate this particular card. And we're gonna add ourselves... I can even go into Lily Bell if I really just want to put another monster here and cause a double co-link. So if I was going in that direction, which is I think is okay too, especially if I'm already committed to doing that, then if I want to build a board that is a bit more threatening, then I'll go for the Lily Bell. I'll add the Lily Bell first and then go here. This might not be the most ideal combo. I'm just letting you guys know that straight up. Someone's got to be like, oh, why'd you do that? Why didn't you just like add the card back and like save it for later? Well, Lilybell can do that already. So add this to hand, activate special summon. We're going to link these guys off now. Since they're two different names, we're going to go into our Phoenix. And now we're going to link these guys off. And we can go into our Cerberus. Remember that these guys are boosted by Saryuja, so this is 22, and this one is 19. So yeah, they're not that cheap. And then I have these two to set. So I'm going to set the reincarnation, and I'm also going to set the shared ride. If the shared ride gets me into like a draw and Lockbird, then that is pretty crazy, because they're going to get draw combo before they even get too far. And then I'll turn off my own shared ride along the way, which is pretty crazy, but that's the top deck. Wow, that's pretty crazy. Unexpected. But yeah, this is like, cannot be destroyed by battle, cannot be destroyed by card effect, and you have a bunch of beat sticks here that eventually can turn into a Firewall dragon later on, if you really want to go in that direction. And of course, you have reincarnation, which can revive Lilybell. Lilybell's attack can get you this card back, which is the Candina. So that's like opening plays. Okay, say we're going second and we have this, and your opponent leaves a weak board, so I'm going to show you guys Firewall OTK with just 2 cards. It's really easy. This is almost the same as the Hornet Drones combo. It's literally the same thing. I'm just going to do it very quickly. Go Brilliant Fusion, toss in the Junk, the Garnet, Trick Clown, and now you have this. This might not work, of course, if you already had Trick Clown in your hand. It's not gonna work out. But if you have one more card to extend it, like 1 token generator, same thing. It just goes into the same stuff. Because if you have Trick Clown, you can still play Brilliant Fusion because you still have lights. So that sets that up. So now you go into normal summoning out the Candina. Candina effect. Of course, you go for Lycoris. Lycoris drop. This goes back to hand. Normal summon. Second summon. Lilybell effect. Now you have everything. This is literally all you really need. So then you do that. You just drop this into attack mode. If they leave a weak monster, well, that's too bad for them, because now you can link all that off for Firewall. Now you have Firewall. Go to battle phase. Lilybell attacks. Of course, deals damage. Add Lycoris to hand. And Lycoris effect, bounce Lilybell back to hand, summon it right under Firewall, crash it with a monster, it dies. Firewall procs, summon out Lilybell, not in the same zone because you need that for Lycoris. And then you do another direct attack, and of course, here's your loop. 2-card loop. Same exact trash that you guys hate to deal with. Now, wow, same 2 cards, but sometimes you just don't have enough life, but you want to go for an OTK anyway. Well, it is possible, and especially even if your opponent does not set up a monster for you, same 2 cards doing the same exact stuff, opening with the Brilliant, toss the same 2 cards into grave, summon out this particular Gem Knight Seraphinite. Gem Knight Seraphinite, of course, you can also get Trick Clown, and now see you're at 100 life. You can't take the burn anymore. Well, normal summon out the Candina anyway. And again, add the Lycoris drop, add the Candina back to hand, normal summon, second summon Candina, add the Lilybell. Lilybell now gets dropped. And link off everyone into a Borrelsword. Same junk, look at it. Now instead of doing something stupid like what I just did, now you can just punch them for game because they left an open board. So even if they don't leave a monster on the field, you can go Borrelsword and just kill them. So you go Borrelsword attack, Lilybell attack. Okay, effect of Lilybell, add the Lycoris. Borrelsword effect, put that into defense mode. Bounce this back to hand, summon out the Lycoris, punch, and then punch again. I think that's enough because this is 28, or sorry, this is 24, and then you hit him for 6k. Yeah, that's another OTK just because you just happen to have these 2 cards. Now, the key factor here to note is that it's very easy to get to these points because all that required was 5 monsters. And as long as one of them is a Candina, you can get to this point. Just count the number of tokens that you can generate and the number of other monsters you can generate, and it's basically the same thing. Just count your monsters. And as the first time talking about this on camera is talking about bricking with a deck. A lot of people just don't go into it, but you know what? This is your main area of bricks. But Brilliant Fusion normally is not a brick unless it's paired with the Garnet. So this is the main culprit. This is your main brick card. Aside from that, this was just nuts. It's just stupid. So in other words, your main culprits of bricking would be Trick Clown, Garnet, Lilybell, Lycurus, because you don't really want to open this in your hand unless you already had another card to begin with. So this is not complete brick depending on what you have. And Monster Reborn, because it's just not that great. Everything else is actually okay to open with, and like Scapegoat, you can't die. Droll and Lockbird, you have Droll combo if you have Reincarnation. Reincarnation, you can revive these guys to extend your plays. Shared Ride, you can't really let your opponent commit with that card. And then anything else, Phantom Sky Blaster, it's just a good card. I guess this Light Stage opens up all your plays. And then it's just a repeat of these same cards over and over again. Impermanence, if you have too many negation cards, it's just like a bad combination which justifies a true brick. Everything else, the worst case scenario is triple Brilliant Fusion, Gemini Garnet, and the Trick Clown. That is Exodia level of bricking. Then you probably should do some charity to kind of build up your karma. But anyways, that's it for me. That's why this deck doesn't feel like it bricks very much, because you really need a hard combination of these various cards to get there. And a lot of these are one-ofs. If you get open with a lot of these one-ofs, you're getting Exodia. So that is all I got for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the combos. They are a bit sacky. They are Brilliant Fusion reliant, but there are other ways to play the deck, which is just the old school styles of Phantom Sky Blasters and the old school style of Trickstar. Nothing really changed. Those combos didn't get taken away. So I guess that's it for this video. If you guys enjoyed this video, hit me with a thumbs up. If you guys want to see more stuff from MST.TV and myself, hit that subscribe button. I'm going to work out some stuff with Nishi. Maybe we can do some fun pack openings revolving around some of these I don't know, these are like last year's fun internet noodles. I'll probably have fun with this on both this channel and Tombox.TV. Until next time, don't forget to hold on to your MST.TV. Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you like this video, please drop us a like so we know we are doing a good job. And you can also subscribe to MST.TV for more fantastic videos by clicking on the button on the left. Don't forget to check out our partners at Imperium Duelist. They make really high quality mats, including some of my own limited edition release stuff. And if you want to check out one of our past videos, click here on the right. As always, don't forget to hold on to your MST.TV, and I'll see you next time.